Wait lang.
Welcome to Waterways, the podcast where we take a deep dive into issues and innovations shaping the cities of the Philippines. I am your host, Carl Gamutan, and today, ladies and gents, we will be tackling a crucial topic currently faced in the durian capital of the Philippines, Davao City, which is water management. As the population grows and climate change tightens its grip, Davao faces a crucial challenge in securing a sustainable water future for everyone. Joining me today are four bright students, each with their own unique perspective on this issue. Let's introduce them. First up, we have Ethan Renalan, a sharp young mind, second to none. Logic and wit, he's got it all. Ready to solve problems, big and small.
Wow, thank you, Carl. It's a pleasure to be invited to tackle this problem and also to explore ideas from different students.
You are more than welcome, Ethan. Next, we have a small but bold, a powerhouse of ideas worth more than gold. Don't let his size fool you. No way, his sharp insights will lead the way. Introducing Joel Kalma.
Thank you for having me, Carl. Excited to be part of this discussion.
Now, give it up for Jefferson Solatorio, a music lover who's got that flow, whether it's rhythm or real world debates. He keeps the beat while setting things straight.
Wow, thank you, Carl. It is a great opportunity to join this kind of important conversation.
And last but not definitely not least, fast and sharp like a car in full throttle, efficiency and speed are his domain. In finding solutions, he shifts to the fast lane. Here comes Ryan Dilio.
Pleasure. I'm looking forward to discussing the tech side of the issue.
Welcome everyone. I know that this certain problem has been a prominent issue for the city of Davao for a long period of time. With such a diverse group of students here today, we're going to get a well-rounded discussion on the challenges and innovations in Davao's water management. But first, let's break the ice a bit. Here's a fun question for everyone. If you could describe Davao's water system in one word, what would it be and why? Starting with you, Ethan.
That's a nice icebreaker, Carl. Well, for me, describing Davao's water management, in one word only, I think it's aging, since Davao has been through developments, yet some of its water systems are not yet like upgraded. That's my opinion.
That's good. And next up, Joel.
For me, very simple answer. I think one simple word is wide, considering Davao's wide area here.
Well, that's interesting. Same question for you, Jefferson.
That's interesting topic to tackle. But for me, it is sustainable because because it is due to Dabao's abundant water sources and well-managed water supply system.
Amazing. And lastly, Ryan.
For me, it is resilient because despite the challenges like urbanization and climate change, it continues to provide clean water through sustainable management efforts.
Wow. Great answers by everyone. Now that we've set the stage, let's dive into the serious stuff. Let us start with Ethan. Can you name us about some of the biggest challenges Davao faces when it comes to managing water?
Sure, that is a great question, Carl. Well, Davao, like many other growing cities in the Philippines, it is a Davao is having a hard time keeping up with the rising demand of water. The city's population has grown a lot, and this is putting a lot of pressure on our water systems, which mostly relies on rivers and surface water. The problem is that the pipes, the reservoir, and treatment plants haven't been updated to handle the higher demand. And around 20% of the water is wasted due to the leaks and illegal connections.
20%? That's a lot of wasted water. If those leaks were fixed, that could already make a big difference.
I know, right? But even though there are projects like the Davao River Basin Management Program to help improve the Davao's water system, we're still facing problems with water reliability, climate change, pollution from farming and factories, and urban waste are making the water quality worse. And taking too much water is also making it harder to meet the demand. According to some studies, especially by Manlapig in 2021 and also by NEDA in 2022.
Ooh, and I can imagine that all of this isn't just affecting supply, but also people's health and daily lives.
Exactly, you're correct, Carl. Well, on top of that, according to Ramos in 2020, many people are using unregulated private wells, which drains groundwater and can also lead to contamination. These kinds of issues are affecting not only our environment, but also the public health.
That's a really important point, Ethan. It's easy to take water for granted when we're surrounded by natural resources. But when you dig deeper, it's clear just how fragile our systems really are. Moving on, Joel, as a pre-engineering student, how do you think Davao's rapid growth and urban development are impacting the city's water infrastructure?
Great question. Davos' rapid growth is putting a strain on its water infrastructure as more people move into urban areas. Water demand increases, but the infrastructure like pipes and treatment plants hasn't kept up. It's like trying to fit a growing population into a small, poorly maintained infrastructure. As a result, water distribution is uneven, with some areas facing shortages while others waste water due to leaks.
Ooh, I see. That's a real challenge for the city's planning. Another question, Joel. Do you think that improving urban infrastructure is key to solving Davao's water distribution issues?
In fact, it is important to recognize the need for taking into account the effects of the growing population of the city on issues like traffic, water disposal, and public transport. All these factors are interlinked with infrastructure and could complicate the process of water supply.
I understand where you're going, Joel, but we're starting to veer slightly off track here. Let's keep on track with how municipal infrastructure in general impacts water delivery. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh, my bad. Well, there is a need to focus more on water. In urban infrastructure, including the replacement of water mains and expansion of treatment plants, must be improved to deliver a more stable and supply water, especially in areas of high growth.
Now that makes sense. So, updating our infrastructure is crucial to meeting the growing water demand, especially in expanding areas. Great point. Now, Jefferson, in your own perspective, how do you think smart and innovative tech can help improve water management in Davao?
That's a great question, Carl. I believe smart technology could truly revolutionize how we manage water in Davao. One exciting development is the use of smart water meters, which track real-time water usage. These meters can help identify leaks and prevent water waste, ultimately reducing non-revenue water as highlighted in a study by Gonzalez in 2021. Additionally, Ramos in 2020 discusses how leveraging data analytics could help predict water shortage and enable more efficient planning for future needs. By integrating these technologies, we can ensure that every drop counts and make water distribution more equitable across the city.
It's exciting to think about how technology can play a pivotal role in tackling these water challenges. But beyond technology, community's involvement is just as crucial. Well, Ryan, I've heard that you've been focusing more on the social aspects of water management. How do you think the people of Davao can actively contribute to solving these issues?
I totally agree with you. Community involvement is essential, and it is something that I've been focusing on as well. We can start by encouraging more people to participate in rainwater harvesting or to conserve water in their everyday lives. Educating the public on the importance of water conservation and dangers of pollution can make a huge impact, especially if everyone understands their role in the bigger picture. In areas where access to clean water is limited, people can work together to advocate for better infrastructure or even find alternative sources if the venues are well informed and empowered. They can really drive change and become part of the solution, not just the problem.
Hmm, that's a good point. Now, before we wrap things up, I have another question for you, Ryan. Do you think Davao venues are aware enough of the water challenges in the city?
That's a nice question, Carl. My answer is no, not fully.
Oh, why is that?
Well, a lot of people are still unaware of how serious these water issues are, especially in certain areas of Davao. While we talk about in forums and media, it hasn't fully reached.
Well, that's an important point. It's clear that raising awareness at the community level is vital to solving these issues. Thank you, Ryan, for sharing your insights. It really is all about collective action. As we start to wrap up, I'd love to hear each of your final thoughts on what Davo's water management system needs most. First, Ethan, what are your takeaways?
Well, for me, Carl, the key is sustainable management, protecting our water resources and investing in infrastructure that can meet future demands. It's not just about finding more water, but using what we have wisely.
Amazing. Well, how about you, Joel?
Urban planning is crucial. Davao needs to ensure that its water infrastructure grows alongside the city. Planning ahead for sustainable urban development will make a big difference in managing water resources.
I like your answer, Joel. What about you, Jeff?
For me, technology can help us overcome many of the traditional challenges. By implementing smart tech like sensors and data-driven systems, Davao can maximize its water resources and directly address inefficiency.
Lastly, Ryan?
For me, involvement is essential. If the Baweños understand the value of water and how to protect it, they can make a big difference. Education and grassroots action are key to solving this issue.
Well, that wraps it up. Now, I would like to thank you everyone for your thoughtful insights today. It's clear that water management in Davao requires a multifaceted approach. And with collaboration from all sides, we can ensure a sustainable water future for the city. Thank you to our guests, Ethan, Joel, Jefferson, and Ryan. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe for more episodes where we discuss the important issues affecting our cities. Until next time, I am your host, Carl Gamutan, and remember, every city has a story. Let's keep telling them.